Computer Hardware 1. Our course code is EEC 117 week 3. So our second slide is known as peripheral devices. A computer peripheral devices is an external devices that can be attached to the computer externally. So peripheral devices are not essential to the functional of computer, but they enhance the functionality. This device can be input or output devices. So they are also devices on their own, but they are attached to the computer so that they can provide a meaningful result. So let's look at types of peripheral devices. We have computer keyboard, microphone, speakers, mouse, monitor, scanner, webcam, and printers. These are examples of peripheral devices. They can either be input device or output devices. Peripheral devices. A peripheral device is a device that either enter information into the computer system or receives information from the computer system. With the help of this diagram, we are to understand that a computer system has an input device and output device. So as we can see in this diagram, the first box refers to the input devices. It allows us to input data and information in the system. Then the second one is known as core components of the computer system, which is known as the central processing unit that executes the instruction and data is given to him. So we now have output devices. The output devices display the output that we have input into the system so that we should see the outcomes of our result. So the core component of the computer is not peripheral devices. The two diagrams, the first and the last diagrams, refers to the peripheral devices, which are the input and output devices. So let's look at examples of peripheral devices. Keyboard. As we can see the diagram on the screen, a keyboard is the most common and important input devices. It allows us to use to enter letters, numbers, and symbols. As we can see the diagram, there is characters on them that we can input letters, symbols, numbers, and icons, and so on. So they are unique signal to the computer. The processing unit to the computer receive the signal and translate it. So there is a design of signal, which is sensor, that whenever you type, it send the signal to the processor so that it can execute the numbers you input to the system. So the keyboard allows us to input data into the computer system. Then we now have the mouse. A mouse is another important input device. It uses point and click to technology to interact with the computer system and also navigate from one icon to another. So those one icon to another refers to the applications or folders on our systems. So we have webcam and scanner. A webcam is a popular input device. It captures live videos and photos. Usually it is inbuilt on laptops and tablets. Mostly it is used for video calls and live presentation. Individuals normally use this webcam for content and live video and so on, so that they won't use their hand to be holding phone. They can also place it at one place so that it will capture them. So we have scanner. A scanner is another popular input device. It used to scan documents. Normally it is capable of saving a hard copy document to soft copy. Like for instance, if you have a copy of handout, which are hard copies on your hand, then you intended to forward it to someone that does not live closer to you, you have to input them on your scanner so that you can have a soft copy of those stuffs document. So monitor and printer. A monitor is one of the most important output device. It receives output from the processing unit and display output. So even though you connect your monitor to your system, once the central processing unit is not functioning, you won't be able to visualize your output. So the monitor allows us to visualize images, videos, pictures, and so on our screen. So the output displayed on the monitor temporarily, because of this, the output display on the monitor is called the soft copy of the output. So most time, things that we can see on our screen of our system, they are known as soft copy, because we won't be able to take them to anywhere, but we will be able to read the content and also understand it. So to make it permanent, you have to store it on other output devices like printer, so that you will be able to have the hard copy. So we have a printer. It's another important output device. It prints the given output. After printing, the output is permanently stored on the paper. Because of this, the output printed on the paper is called the hard copy of the output. So let's look at types of monitor. We have LCD, which is known as liquid crystal display. It uses liquid crystal to control light and usually backlight with cold cathode fluorescent lamp. As we know, fluorescent, they are lamp or light reflection that are very white in nature. So with the help of it, it allows us to visualize images and pictures. They use fluorescent lights to implement the LCD, which is known as liquid crystal display. Then we have the LED, which is known as the light emitting diode display. It uses LEDs for backlighting. They are considered more environmentally friendly than LCD. So let's look at the CRT, which is known as cathode ray tube. It displays beams of electrons to create images on a fluorescent screen. So they have already designed some implementation whereby once the video is captured, it will just display on the fluorescent screen, where the most common type of monitor before the Mint 200 CRT, which is known as cathode ray tube technology, which was commonly used in television screen. So back then, it is used in television screen that we normally use at home, which are known as CRT, cathode ray tube. So let's look at functions of monitor. Display visual information. A monitor displays information from a computer in the form of text, video, or sound. Most time, once we use our monitor, we can visualize image or pictures, or we can even listen to MP3, which will be able to only hear the sound. So depend on how the user uses it. So if you go to video, it will display video for you. You can watch graphics and so on. If you go to pictures, it can only provide pictures for you. If you go to MP3, it can only provide sounds for you. So let's look at the interpret data. A monitor receives data from the computer's graphics card and interpret it into an image or video. So without this graphics card, you will not be able to visualize images or videos on the screen of the computer system. So we have produce software copy output. So as we said earlier, the soft copy output, which is the process of visualizing images or write-up or text on our screen of a computer system. The visualizing refers to process of viewing or watching those items.